shared it. Broadcast is live.
We are live. The music's off. Afternoon, boys.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Bob, mate, how are you? How are you? Fantastic, mate.
Good, thank you. So, guys, this is Grant and John from More Than Fitness up in Scotland. I hate the whole tell us what you do thing, so I'm not going to say that. But
God, so do they.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we've been practicing.
So Grant and John we share a coach. Is how we know each other. And one of the things that kind of immediately drew me to like looking at what these guys do online is there's a lot of similarities and a lot of differences to what we do at Hit Zone, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But first of all, some kind of big news coming out of kind of lockdown and things for you guys, where a lot of people have struggled, have been worried. You guys are growing, expanding. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, I think it goes down to a wee bit of the, what we spoke about just previously. There is a lot of people are kind of moving online and quite good and comfortable online, and we've just, our community stuck by us and we've stuck by them as best we can, and it's one of the things where people just want to be part of it. So we've not really done anything different. It's kind of attracted more people to be part of something through a tough time, I think.
Yeah, you're referring to the expansion.
No, just
yeah.
So so as much as we actually love the online side of things, I think we just love doing what we do, the community side of things, and that's I think where we obviously have very big similarities, Stuart.
Yeah.
But with this, we thought we've got a good sort of following. We live in a small town, Livingston, in Scotland, and just on the fringe of Livingston, either side you've got Edinburgh and Glasgow, and it's always been an ambition of ours to open up a second and a third gym either side. So we opted Glasgow in the midst of the lockdown.
Purely by chance.
Just purely by chance, and by just obviously kind of taking a little bit of risk. I think with no risk, there's no reward sort of thing. We have a following in Glasgow, we have a following in Edinburgh. And it's just brought kind of major excitement our way. I think just taking that chance and kind of lifting what we do now, and then just planting it in the big city, really. So buzzing for it.
Well, Livingston is close to my heart, as I may or may not have told you previously. My grandparents lived in Ratho. My granny was born in Ratho and moved away a bit and then lived there. So familiar with the area. I haven't been there for a little while, but we'll be getting, as soon as we're allowed, I'll be up to see your gym anyway. It'll be good to see that. But one of the things I think that's really, really interesting there is this, it's a year, this situation we've been in now, and everybody's kind of seen it as a little bit maybe of the death of gyms and how online, transition to online, get online coaching. Why? And I'm super keen to get our studio back open, hopefully another 5 weeks, and all of our studios around the UK. But what is it about in person that really does it for you? And that's not knocking online. It's served its purpose, as you say. There's a good buzz from getting stuff going. But what is it about in person, training and group fitness that does it for you?
I mean, I think a lot of people, like you say, they think it's a death of gyms. Maybe it's been tough, and for smaller gyms to keep open and stuff. But on the back of the death of gyms, if you want to call it that, there's going to be the growth, the interaction. People have been, deprived of just human interaction, and it's what we thrive on. Is pure energy. If we haven't got energy coming back at us, our energy's low. If our energy's low, we can't, bring that fire, that energy that we're kind of fucking known for.
And on that point, do you dress up as Oompah Loompahs in the gym as well, or is that just an online thing? If you haven't, guys, go and check out.
That was just an online thing.
You've been telling him every day.
Nah, that was just a bit to bring a bit of fun, because. Well, we notice it in ourselves, but you also notice it within your local community and your following and stuff, that people kind of get, there's certain points in this whole lockdown where people are kind of they're okay with that, and then they get this dip in mood.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of a way that we could kind of influence people's emotions for at least half an hour, brighten up a Sunday. And it made, to be honest, mate, it made us feel fucking great. It made us feel great. It was a great laugh.
And that's a question I've got on that point, right? Because I'm not a fancy dress person. I count myself as having a pretty strong mindset. I've worked on it a lot, obviously, with Paul, with Alex, and being part of Elite X has leveled that up again. But there's one thing with fancy dress. My immediate thing is I don't want to look like a twat. Now, you guys went dressed up as Oompah Loompahs, and also you did a leotard, like those colourful leotards online.
You know, we're going for, it's one of the things. It's like once you can put yourself in pure like humiliation, like, you know, there's nothing else left that anyone can bring you down with, and it's like one of the things. And we knew our following would kind of love that and would pick us up, like pick them up. And it's like we've always, one of his classes is LBT. That's the dance we've done, the dance routine, exercise to music, and it's fun enough just doing it normal. But I think just bringing that like a wee bit more fun. So.
And how would you transfer that then? Because something I'm super interested in we have a lot of people come to Hit Zone who are what I would class as reluctant exercisers. People who have maybe failed a lot in the past, put weight on, got out of shape, whether it's like having kids, getting a job that takes up all their time, that kind of thing. And I think there's parallels there between the whole like dressing up and, if you want to call it, making a bit of a fool of yourself, but putting yourself out there like that. What would you say to people who are going, I don't really want to be stood, however big the class is, however big the group is, the session is. How do you think that transfers to people who are probably scared of a gym, your facility, Hit Zone? Yeah, what would you say to those kind of people?
Just really look at the numbers growing, and maybe like a lot of our guys are good at reaching out to other people. So ask somebody who's doing it, who's maybe felt the same way they were feeling at one point. Or maybe even just start by, not dressing up. It was just something we done. Everyone took part, like just in their normal clothes, like behind a screen. Some of them just sat down with a cup of tea. Just even
that's how I was.
I think what people see is us. They see us dressing up, making a fool of ourselves, having fun with it. But 5 to 10 years ago, 5 years roughly for you since you started as a PT, 10 when I started, that's probably something that we wouldn't have ventured into. We just took we've built up a sort of confidence and maybe a resilience to standing in front of people and doing things that are out with your comfort zone. Yeah. So the people on the outside may see that very similar, like from coming to a gym, for example, is their first set foot in the gym is actually them dressing up and having to turn up. Yeah. I would suggest follow your local gym, get to know them a little bit, dabble in and out on their social media, speak to them, and then start to build a rapport and make that a comfortable situation for you. Because now it's super comfortable for us.
I think it highlights, because we used to kind of have, we only shared things on our social media that looked fucking tough, like super tough, and they thought they were coming for you to scream at them. This kind of highlights that the journey doesn't have to be that serious, but you can see a little trend. And when we go live and when we do these kind of lives, more and more names we don't know, I've never trained people, commenting stuff, just like, keep going guys and stuff like that. Then eventually down the line, you see them joining in a program, and I think that's their way of kind of putting a toe in the water.
Yeah.
By
I think it's a really interesting kind of contrast with you guys from the things I've seen since I've really known you guys back end of last year, early this year. I've seen various things. I've seen like a photo shoot from you, Grant, like getting into great shape, and yours as well, John, wasn't there? Was that around the same kind of time? Yeah. And then I've seen you
same photo shoot. Yeah, same day. I'm disappointed that you've not got a photo show.
Well, no, I've got a photo. I've got one of those photos on my wall here, but I just can't show you. And I've seen, obviously, you did that 24-hour walk. You've done the food bank boot camp, and then the kind of dressing up, fun kind of Facebook Live stuff. And I think that's a really great for people to see that fitness can be like lots of things to different people. It doesn't just have to be either silly mucking around or super serious like baby oil and photos. It's like, and I think you guys really bring that. And is that something that's been kind of driven? Again, I'm really interested with this, mainly in business. How much of this is customer driven, and how much of it is it just you doing what you like and people have cottoned onto it?
Wow, great question. I think it's, the more we do it, because it's just us, the more then the members want it. So I think it's almost 50-50 there. And I think like we're so much more than just the transformation photos that we post. And I think, you know, you always get taught, especially in business, do more of it what's working and less of which it doesn't. And the more we are just ourselves and build on our relationship, it shows that the community build around that as well. So I think the stronger we are together, the stronger the community is together.
He's nailed it right there, because I think that sort of that dynamic that we bring, that you're talking about there, and that sort of versatility that we bring, probably comes from both of our skill sets that we've sort of adapted and learnt from each other. You know, you're a key drill master, aren't you? Key drill master. And probably just kind of through my sort of management days and the commercial side of gyms and stuff, like this, the fun and making an arse of yourself stuff kind of had to come. So we're just seeing the qualities in both sort of areas, both adapt to them, and just kind of have fun with it and enjoy it. Either way, like whether we are screaming at people, you know, whether we're absolutely killing them, or whether we're going together on a big massive community walk and getting to know our members on a one-to-one basis. Like it's I just think we learn as we go. We learn on the journey.
Like you say, people react differently. Like I can have one session, and you know we have pretty small groups with our session, and you can have one person that responds to a bollock and a kick up the arse, and then you've got someone else who I've had members say to me, if you ever shout at me, you'll never see me again. And that's, I guess, the skill of being a coach. And guys, if anyone has questions, just pop them in the comments. But something again I think was like super interesting and really heartwarming was the boot camp, the food bank boot camp that you guys did.
Yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it? You need to think about it.
Yeah, I was scared I was getting that the wrong way around then. And was that just like an idea you came up with and just ran with, or what? Where did that kind of come from?
So where it started from was one of our old members was the manager at Pizza Express and got this big delivery just before lockdown, like to get them through the month. And it's a big chain. And so she dropped me a message with everything she had. And you know, I messaged my sister and says, can you you know, benefit from any of this? And she's like, I know someone from the food bank who would take it all, because they've got fridges and stuff like that. Then we thought, you know, then we got thinking, like my sister's got 5 kids, and I'm just like, it was automatic for me to ask her if she could benefit from all this food that was going to go to waste. And we thought, do you know what? If my initial instinct was, what if my sister's going to struggle through this? People around here will struggle through this. Yeah. So we put our heads together and thought, do you know what? We're going to have one big last boot camp, and we've got about 40 people turn up with just food. So it's free. It's completely free, but you must bring a item of food. And the full gym was full, and we just thought, not only with the food bank, like the community church, so grateful. It was like almost one of the things that, you know, it's shit, but it's bittersweet because you feel good for doing something good for people that might be struggling. So we ran with it. Yeah. Then in August, we went on the assault bike for 24 hours. 24 hours again. The first 24-hour challenge, and we raised, you know, over £5,000. 6, 7. This time we've just raised 6 again. We set out for 5. We set and that's through. I
remember the day we kind of came up with it. We were doing a Facebook Live.
You were here?
No, it was sitting in the office. It was in the office. We were doing a Facebook Live, and it was in that sort of midst of no one knew what was happening when the pandemic was coming, because nothing was shut, nothing was happening anymore. Yeah. And it was just like the first thing that we kind of thought about was not about the gym closing, not about our guys not getting it, but where can we help the community? Because from a financial standpoint, we were okay. Yeah. We were okay. So what we did was Grant ran online classes for a corporate company who donated money for the food bank during the first pandemic. Then we obviously did the big boot camp before everything got closed down, and then everything else that we did was free. We did free Zooms for the community for 4 months, just like so. Didn't charge a penny, but in return it was just like donate some food. We did the 24-hour assault bike challenge, like he says, and ever since it's kind of just stuck with us. And then the food bank boot camp is going to be a massive thing for us. It'll be one of our number 1 priorities going forward. The outdoor exercise getting announced in Scotland now, we can bring it back, which is absolutely amazing. But when the opportunities for us to raise awareness and bring food to the food banks through that. Go away. That's when we do the 24-hour walks and stuff like that. So it's not something that we only do when we can. We try and find a way every single time to do it. Yeah.
I think it's super important to give back, and I'm always amazed at Hit Zone by whenever we do anything charity-wise, whether it's like something like wearing it red, for heart disease, just for a day, come to your sessions wearing something red, or whether we've done 24-hour hit-a-thons, individual, even when members just do their own individual charity thing. I'm always blown away by the generosity of people. But I think one place it comes from, and you guys have this in spades where you are, and it's something that's probably our number one priority here is a feeling of community within our business, of people feeling comfortable, people feeling they can be themselves, they're loved, they're looked after. And when you give that out, I think you attract it back in droves from people, and you attract the right people into your tribe. Which Absolutely. I mean, judging by the comments here from and Louise already that I can see, I'll share them on the screen in a minute. It's just you're attracting like-minded people, and that business owner and a business operator makes work so much more enjoyable because you're
just before the first lockdown says what we do next will come back tenfold. What we do now for people around us, because we've got a good relationship with the guys at the church, and they were saying the numbers of family coming in were tripling. And we say what we do now will come back tenfold, and it has, and we're very grateful for it.
You say something really interesting as well, because you're talking about you'll attract the people that you want in your tribe as such. Grant says something really, really interesting the other day there when he was asked a question, what are your goals outside MTF or something like that, and he says, I don't have any goals outside MTF. My life and family now is this community. So they're his priorities. That was what was your priorities outside More Than Fitness, wasn't it? But he's built More Than Fitness now. The community is his life. All the negativity, everything that you could possibly think of, no longer would exist.
I totally agree. And I've battled a long time with. I mean, Hit Zone's 5.5 years old. And I've battled along this whole thing, like, I don't want Hit Zone to be my identity, and like, if Hit Zone doesn't do great, it's not me, and if Hit Zone does do great, detach. And you know what? I've given up doing that because I don't have that many friends that aren't something to do with Hit Zone. It's why I find Elite X so powerful for me, because I've got people outside of no emotional attachment to Hit Zone who can give me input and views and ideas.
And advice, for sure.
I've made some of my best friends in my entire life, and I still have them now through Hit Zone. My mum is one of our coaches. My dad's our maintenance guy. My brother's my brother in America, who lives over in America, whenever he comes over, he comes and trains. And I think it's quite cool. I used to think, is it a bit sad, like my business and my life are so intertwined, but I love it. So why would I?
There was a point just 2 kind of New Years ago when you set these New Year resolutions, and mine was kind of to separate my life and business, and it's just like I tried it because it was having an effect on a relationship and whatnot. Then I was just like, why am I trying to fight something when it's right? And it's just like for the last year, we've not been able to do anything. And the only people we do see is the people we're working with and for, and it's just like there's nothing kind of, when you are trying to move away from that negative side and say it's life, then it's business. I was just like, it's all been one. Like it's literally every single day, including Sundays. Sure, we're talking to someone from the MTF community, and it's like we've got some great friends. We'll be friends forever. Like the Duffys, and we'll meet up with them and whatnot. And it's and you're saying about Hit Zone being your identity, MTF is mine, and if MTF was ever to go down, I'd go down with it.
Yes, they chop my arm off, and there'd be green and black like blood coming out of them.
Exactly.
So, but I think as well, what's interesting is I've had so many kind of comments from people all the way through lockdown, and we immediately went I've said this before, but 20th of March last year, when Boris made his announcement, it was about 5 o'clock in the evening. Steph, one of our coaches, was taking the sessions at our Halesfield studio, and I went there knowing that I had to go and just lock up, close, kind of say goodbye to the members. And I walked around that studio thinking, am I ever going to open again? Now, don't get me wrong, we've got 13 studios with franchise business, but my particular one, I was like, am I ever going to open this again? And from the very evening, I put a letter out, an email out, a Facebook Live to the team saying, look, we're going online from tomorrow morning. I'm going to muddle through this. I don't know what to do or how to work it, but you'll get as much value as possible. And there's a couple of things. One, we've had members say to us, like, we've kept them sane and we've kept them on the right road, and also that we've offered more value in some ways than when we were open physically. Now, we've learned a lot, so we'll continue a lot of that stuff. But I can switch that back around and say a lot of our members have kept me sane. Of genuine people see us, I guess, as leaders of our communities, leaders of our things. We have our own battles with boredom, with mental health, with everything that's going on here. For me, there's a heartfelt thank you to our community for, as I say, keeping me sane, giving me a purpose, giving me a reason to get up in the morning. Because it'd be very easy for us to just bury our head under the covers and not do anything, because we've all been affected by this. We've all been hit by it. We're not immune to it, so to speak.
I mean, when he made the first announcement, the first announcement was made as well. I was over in Cyprus running like a marathon, and I mean that was one of that video. So I had to come back early, and on the day for that's when we were told, and we had like half a week left the blocks before they finished, and it was going to. This was on a Wednesday or Tuesday or something. Yeah. And it says we're having to shut down on the Friday, and I went on a live, still happy, just back, bit of sun about me. And I said, look, guys, relax, man. This is going to be okay. And looking back at that video now, I'm just like, then I genuinely believed it was going to be okay. Now, I genuinely believe it's still going to be okay. I didn't anticipate it being this long. I think nobody did. Yeah. No. But we did say on that live, and we are many our words, and we did say, we've got you through this whole thing, no matter how long it takes. And we stuck by it. And like you say, a lot of people do say, oh, you kept us sane and this and that, but it is, these guys are being just important to us as any key worker out there working and doing their job and doing their bit. They guys are key for us.
And I think go as far. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go on. You go.
Yeah, I would go as far as saying lockdown changed our business for the better.
Absolutely,
100%.
Yep,
we were loving it, like living life as you could call it, but we were probably at that point living at our maximum. We failed to recognise a lot of areas where we can branch out, support, help, like from the online platform, from a mindset coaching platforms, like in terms of our business, like our business whole dynamic because of lockdown, it's changed us for the better. And not to say that we did what we were doing before wasn't great. It just it really, do you know when you have to slow down to recognise stuff? It forced us to slow down. We took a week out. We said we're not going to do nothing for a week because we don't want to react on our chimp emotion. Let's just do that. So that's when we came up with the idea of like, we'll just run everything for free. We're in a solid position just now where he can pay his bills, I can pay my bills. None of our families are at threat. So we thought, best thing we can do now is just look after our community.
Because we will need them to, rebuild.
And it forced us to level up our business. We built websites. We were taking like card transactions, not cash transactions, just things, just simple things that really change your business. And I think if it didn't happen, we'd probably be in a very similar position to what we were before.
Yeah, you would be no further forward.
Yeah, for sure.
You would be no way further forward.
And I think on that point as well, one of the things that's been really important for us, two things on there. One, as you say, it's the first time in 5 years where I had a chance to go, I was taking some online sessions and I was dealing with members, talking to them, jumping on Zoom, etc., coaching them. But to actually sit there and go, from a business point of view, right, that was going well, but is there a better way we can do it? Or actually having the time, and there's that phrase about working on your business rather than in your business, and just having that time to sit back. And then also I think, and you'll probably agree with this, I guess, there's been the 3 lockdowns now, each time we haven't rested on our laurels. We've gone, right, okay, so that worked in lockdown 1. Lockdown 1, we were all very isolated. All the studios did their own stuff. Lockdown 2 and 3, like 8 or 9 of our studios have come together to deliver Zoom sessions. So there's a much wider timetable and a variety and everything from, like, one of the most popular things we've done is Friday night pub quizzes via Facebook Live. Your guys' business name is exactly this, but it is more than fitness. Like, it's life. So really for people, and I think one really, really important thing you said earlier on was that I think businesses that have done right by their clients and by their communities and by the general public will really, I don't want to say reap the rewards, because we're not doing it to reap the rewards. We're doing it to look at people, but I think we'll reap the rewards. We had our best ever month for new sign-ups, new members, new partners of our community in August when we came out of the first lockdown. And we had our best ever December when we came out of the second lockdown. And I genuinely think that businesses such as yours, such as mine, for years to come, we'll reap the rewards, if you want to call it that, from what we've done. And it doesn't seem like work to do that. It doesn't seem like hard work to. It's just our personality. Well, certainly for me, it's my personality. That's how I get a buzz from giving value and from making people happy.
I think we do work hard, but it's never been hard work.
No, it's never been hard work.
It's
all self-creation, isn't it? It's all self-creation. It's all choice. I just think from a self-development standpoint, you'll agree as well, lockdown gave that best opportunity to kind of work on yourself, protecting your own energy. Now, in Elite X, it's all about that, isn't it? Protecting your own energy.
And so how do you do that? When, like, so you guys, and again, I can only go from what I've seen online, like of some of the Facebook public classes you've kind of done and sessions. Like, if someone would say to me, describe you guys, energy would probably be the first word that came to mind. Like, the energy and the vibe is there. How do you go about creating that? What do you do and I'm not talking about like showing up on a Sunday morning to do a session, but through your life. And I think a lot of people suffer from low energy. What are the things that you do to keep your energy high, not just to deliver sessions, but to live your life? What are the things?
First off, naturally we've got energy, so I wouldn't say about creating it, but protecting it is identifying what actually gives you energy and noticing and taking note when you feel the drop in energy. And it's like when I go back to, when you grow as a business, what worked well, what didn't work well. It's the same. Use your energy here, you feel fucking fantastic, people vibing off you, and you feel that dip. What made you dip? Because something happened. Was it a conversation? Was it something you heard? Was it something you watched? Was it, lack of sleep? It's just identifying what makes you feel good and what doesn't make you feel good.
For me, routine and ritual. Routine and morning ritual is and journaling, like, just anything, but get thoughts on paper, get plans on paper, because if you plan your energy, you can protect your energy, if that makes sense. You're stepping out of situations that you may find yourself in otherwise, that actually bring your state down a little bit. Not to say that you can always avoid negativity, you can't.
You can choose your actions. You can choose how you filter it.
One of the biggest things about, like Paul Mott says, our mentor, is that the guys with the morning ritual are the guys that you look up to, because you'll want to be like them in terms of energy and stuff like that. Because what they do is first thing in the morning, they set their intentions on their energy. If you're trying to set your intentions on your energy in the afternoon, you've already fucked it, because the morning's done. Like, there's things that have got in your way, there's obstacles in your way, and that just gets pushed off. But if you do that first thing, then there's an opportunity there to
I don't think there's a successful person, whenever you read these books, whenever you read anything about like successful people, business people, sports people, anything, who don't have some form of morning routine. Now, people always think of routine as like things like, I've got to have a cold shower, I've got to go and do I've got to go on a run, I've got to go and do all these things. Really,
they think it has to be hard.
Paul touched hard. Like, nothing in your morning routine should require motivation.
No,
so
like my routine. My routine that protects my energy in the morning is so simple. Is don't press snooze. and have my black coffee, sitting down with my phone still away from me. That's my routine. And it protects my. See if I press snooze, I'll miss my coffee and have to rush to work.
Yeah.
My energy's down. But that's my routine, and it's just something so simple.
Yeah.
I'm the cold shower guy though. I'm the cold shower guy. I like the cold shower, and I know so it does carry a negative connotation, but it works for me.
Right.
Like for me, it's that first morning, but it's your first battle of the day. Like it's an uncomfortable situation that you get into, but I'm putting myself in that, so I deal with it right away. So I've done that. I've overcome that. It's just it's like a raising what do you call it, endorphins really. But I also feel awake, and as soon as I feel awake, I'm ready to do the other stuff. I'm ready to write a journal. If you ask me to get out of my bed and write a journal, it's not happening. So I need to feel alert before it would take me an hour of drinking a cup of coffee and sitting in front of the TV. So if I do that, it's like an instant change, and then I can do the rest.
And I think that takes a level of self-awareness. That's a very good friend.
Closer.
Yeah, takes a level of self-awareness for things like understanding why something serves you. So, for example, a cold shower. It might be 4 or 5 different things for different people. So for me, the whole uncomfortable thing, literally all I can say about a cold shower for me is it makes me feel more awake. That's all. I don't know about the resilience thing. I don't know about the mental health. It's supposed to be better for your skin. It obviously makes your hair grow. Pretty doing a good job. But and it's the same for like some people love exercising in the morning. Sandra, who's just commenting down here, she's ready to go first thing. Whenever we have 6 a.m. sessions in the morning at the studio, she's in every single one.
Whereas as a trainer, I can't think of anything worse. I hate training in the morning.
I love taking a session.
As a coach, she hates it in the morning as well.
Yeah.
I think you should have 2 cold showers.
I love it as a coach, but I don't like exercise first thing morning. I need to have a meal inside me before I train.
I'm a day guy. I need the fuel.
And I think on that point, the same goes. I think that's a great point to make about exercise. Like, don't force yourself to do stuff that you don't enjoy. There's a million and one ways to get in. If that doesn't involve hit zone, cool. Like if you prefer pounding the pavement and running, or doing CrossFit or whatever it is, it's about finding that thing that works for you.
Absolutely, you'll get some people who would say kind of things like, I just didn't want to get up at that time in the morning to work out. Then don't. It's like, I don't want to eat chicken all the time. Then don't eat chicken all the time. It's like what works for you, what serves you towards your bigger goal. It's just it can be applied to anything.
And again, the same goes with the level of sacrifice. Like, for example, the shape you guys got in for your photo shoot, there's a level of sacrifice to get there. You know, which is cool. But if somebody doesn't want to be in photo shoot shape, don't feel you have to because you guys have. Like, do what makes you happy, not what you think like your peers want you to do or whatever.
See, the reality of that photo shoot, I was actually just about to say that before you said that. The reality of that photo shoot is, yes, there was a dreaded element. There was part of that where I had to eat shit for a while, but without me doing one thing that I enjoyed, like that served the whole purpose for me was boxing, wasn't it? Like, there's no way I would have stuck to this 12-week cut plan, like, but because the reward for me is I was getting to box, I was getting fitter, faster, I was getting punched in the face less. I had this, like, so it was a reward.
Is boxing like your background, or is it just something you do?
Not naturally. He's laughing because he thinks he thinks a baller, but no, I just enjoy it. Like, I've always enjoyed it. I've always followed the sport. I did a couple of white collar fights, but I just knew that I could do that without feeling like I was exercising. I hate running.
You ran a lot.
But I ran a lot during that process. But I knew it was serving the boxing, so it was different.
Yeah.
But I couldn't run to go and cut weight, to lose weight. That mentality didn't work.
To bring that right down into minute detail, this is something I'm really interested in. I think a lot of people would get something from this, because a lot of people do have to, as we call it, eat shit to get the result. Not all the time, but have an element of doing stuff they don't want to. And, you know, we're told, link it to something you love. And it's all well and good to say, to be better at boxing, to get hit in the face less, I need to go and do this run. I need to cut my weight. But on that moment where you're sitting there going, it's pissing it down outside, it's cold, you're not quite got your trainers on yet, but I know I've got to go and do 3 miles, 5 miles, 5K, whatever. How at that very moment do you link it and make it, like, what's the secret there? Because I think
every night I did this, I sat there and I had all day to run. I sat there, 9 o'clock came, I looked at my watch and I thought, shit, there was 2 things. Accountability of my personal trainer. I got my own personal trainer. I had to send him that I went and run 5K. And the other thing was the leverage of that photo shoot, because I was doing the photo shoot no matter what, but I wasn't comfortable doing it in the way that I looked at that point in time.
So by narrowing it down to that one thing, and it's as simple as by doing what you said you would.
Accountability and leverage, man.
So would you say to people, again, I'll put words in your mouth here, but when you're setting yourself a goal, and we do a lot on goal setting, we do a lot of hit zone on goal setting, is whatever your goal is, I guess the advice is put a date on it, put some kind of time on it.
Absolutely.
Create like as I say, for you, the photo shoot was happening whether you put a stone on, whether you shredded right down, or whether you looked exactly like you did at the start of the 12 weeks. Do you think it's getting that kind of non-negotiable something that other people know about that you can't back out?
Absolutely. So how it happened was
fear, absolute fear.
I got my own PT, and her background was different from the boxing background. She's got a bodybuilding background, but just by chance, I was starting with her 12 weeks exactly from her photo shoot, because she does photo shoots with her clients. And she asked me, does John want to do it? And I said that, and he's like, let's do it. So it's like, it was never the intention for a photo shoot. However, it was like the leverage of it. And he done his style of the training because he wanted to get better at boxing and stuff, because I keep beating him up every time we box. But mine, I enjoy mine. No, I probably wouldn't do that last process again, the whole dehydration, cutting the carbs and stuff like this. Like, I only enjoyed it so much and still had energy because it was new to me. I don't think, and just because I was enjoying the coaching with yourself and Paul and all that stuff, managing the state. But now I've just changed my training program for the next 8 weeks, where I'm going to lean down a bit, but I'm just going to do stuff that I enjoy again, hitting the bag, skipping, boxing. No pressure on it anymore. It's more of enjoyment rather than an angle. It's
so important. Enjoyment, leverage, accountability. 3 things that you'll definitely need: enjoyment, leverage, accountability.
Absolutely.
People that say they don't enjoy any form of exercise is a lie.
Right.
I think it's point blank lie. They've just not explored that yet.
Or just unaware.
And the big thing for me with that is, you don't necessarily have to enjoy every second of that exercise that you're doing. But one of the things for me, and even I hate running. I don't enjoy it. I want to be good at it because I kind of just do. Because I think it's a great tester of fitness, of cardiovascular fitness anyway. And again, a little bit of grit, I think, if you're running. So what Paul did this weekend, or if you do run a marathon, there's an attraction to the level of mental resilience it takes to train and then to do it. But something that it's like, think how you feel after. Like, whether it's after a hit session, whether it's after skipping, whether it's after going for a run, even if it's a big hike in the hills. You'd never finish an exercise session. You might feel a little bit sick, you might feel a little bit knackered, but you never feel it mentally going, wish I hadn't done that.
You'll never feel achievement doing nothing. You'll never feel achievement doing nothing. Whether it be the simplest thing, as long as you value it, then you finish it, you'll feel that sense of achievement, and that's enough to do it again and again and again.
And something like,
fact for me,
go on, carry on, John.
Sorry, a true fact for me is I've never enjoyed a run, but I've never not felt good after it.
Exactly, exactly. I still feel the same way I used to do on a Saturday morning. Like, I really have to do, and then afterwards I'd be like, I feel amazing, because it's like half an hour at most. I've got my heart rate flying. I've given my legs a good workout, and something that I struggle with a little bit, and it's on the photo shoot topic. I always look at photo shoots and think, like, you only look like that for half a day, maybe a day. What's the point? But then, again, by the same token, And I'm talking here, like you talk about that dehydration, and then I always see people having like 12 donuts the second that the camera goes off because they haven't been able to eat it. What did it do for you guys mentally to do the photo shoot? Because it isn't really massively your guys' identity, your guys' community identity. Certainly not from what I see. You guys, that isn't what you're about. But how was it like mentally to like kind of almost balance the MTF stuff in that our community isn't about looking shredded, weighing on the scales, etc. But also to chase your own personal goal of
yeah, John struggled a wee bit more on this point. He was grinding, he was digging deep mentally.
So it was like my 12. I had a lot more to lose weight wise because I was going on a complete shred where you were what, cutting lean up.
Yeah, I was kind of lean.
I was on it was like a 12-week progressive deficit, and by the time I got to the end and we did the dry out phase and stuff like that, I was numb for about 6 weeks of that progress.
Times two.
Yeah. Unless you were doing it for the stage presence and stuff like that, I wouldn't recommend it to your average Joe. I wouldn't.
What it done for me mentally is it comes down to that thing, like when we've got a signature program called Maximum Assault, and we've got a new one coming, Shredded to the Max. And the first Maximum Assault I took part in and got great results. The Shredded to the Max one, both of us are taking part in, and I think it's that knowing that I'm asking somebody to do something. I've done it.
Yeah,
I've done it. That's kind of where my mental side of it was, and again, like I say, it was new. It felt like an achievement. Just I'll never. I'm a big believer. My dad drove this into me. He's like, I'll never ask you to do something I'm not willing to do myself.
Sure.
And that's kind of where that came from.
It's being able to relate to the clients on the other side that we're and for your clients to see that you've done it. You went through the journey. We've both done side by side Maximum Assault classes. They're horrendous.
Yeah.
But you're in the hurt locker beside them. They appreciate that so much.
Yeah, they did love that.
I remember.
You can also relate to what they're saying.
Yeah, when we drink in our hit sessions, all of our coaches, not just myself and my business partners, but our coaches as well, and they love seeing us go through it. And I think a lot often they get a little 5% in their locker because they can see. And to me as well, training alongside people, we've got members who are in their 60s to members in their 20s, everything in between. And I look either side of me when I'm training, and I think, well, if these guys are doing it, then so can I. That's as clear as that sounds. So what are the plans go forward then? What's like you guys don't have a date, do you, yet for coming out of lockdown? Do you?
Not yet.
Exactly.
Not yet, but we are starting back our outdoor exercise. You kick that one spare time.
You've got like wires everywhere. There's a jungle in here, Stuart.
We've got outdoor boot camps planned and sold out for Saturday. We're doing them side by side, 15 and 15. That is just going to be out. Where?
When does that start? Sorry, when?
Saturday. So I got announced yesterday. We're allowed from Friday outside, so we're busy Friday. We're going to do it Saturday, and it's just going to be a release of energy. It's just going to be great. And I was saying to people, it's so important because I remember after the first lockdown, and if anybody catches up on this who's come to the boot camps, please take note. They came back for lockdown, and we used, we do like. Not in a bad way, label people the elite and stuff. Let's give them that boost because they're high performers. But once you came out of lockdown, they felt bad about not doing anything, not doing the classes we were doing, and they came back and it hurt them. They were nowhere near where they were. So it's important now. This is just going to be a release of energy, getting back connected, face to face. And I didn't want anybody coming
feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah, comparing themselves to other people's fitness in case. And let's say we both turned up and I was doing the classes and John wasn't. I wouldn't want John to be comparing fitness levels. It's about disengaging through all the bullshit on social media at the minute and just engaging with each other. And I think that's what it's going to be like for a little while. Through the lockdown and stuff, we've not been driving transformations. We're still getting amazing transformations, but we're not driving it. We're just driving, keeping active.
Yeah, and we've seen some of like what you call our most active, most fit members, if you want to call it that. Not really engaged. They've had a lot of admiration for what we've been doing, but just not, whether it's stuff going on in their personal lives, but whatever, dealing with it situation. And again, I think it's such a great message. So much we see on social media these days from fitness businesses. I'm not really taking a shot at anyone here, but I am a little bit. Of like, oh, can't wait to get back in the gym and hammer it, etc., etc., etc. And what are you going to do on your first session back? Like you said, like seeing people face to face. I know full well we have got some members. Forget the COVID regulations. We've done like our model lends itself to being super safe, clean, etc. But there's people who are apprehensive about being in a group of people outside of their family again for the first time in months. And so, like, it's not about how many calories you can burn in 25 minutes or like whether your form is dead perfect on that exercise or that exercise, or whether you have to take a 5-minute break in the middle because you're absolutely blowing. It's about, like you say, re-engaging, seeing people, and rediscovering the fun in life. So many people are just not having any fun.
No. Yeah.
Like, can't go
two things that Yeah, for sure. There's two things that I'm looking forward to, and that's one, getting back to our current community and our old community, and two, being able to meet the new community that we've started to engage with just through online presence. That's just things that excite me. It's not opening the gym doors and stuff like that. It's that re-engaging with people again, and having an impact on their lives because they're having an impact on ours daily. And it's just been nice to feel that sort of connection again. That was the best thing for me. I was saying about the 24-hour walk. It was almost painless because I did 6 hours less, but it was almost painless because I spent the majority of the time getting to know people that I didn't know. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the experience. I was so distracted and enjoying the experience. It was amazing.
Standing in front of people,
amazing.
In a session, standing in front of people, like the difference for me when I take our Zoom sessions, I literally stand in my front room with the camera on, demonstrate the exercises, encourage people, etc., etc. And yes, I often feel good and have a little bounce after that. But the energy I get from standing in front of anywhere between, like our sessions are anywhere between 3 and 7 people at the moment, because we've really cut down because of the thing. Just like the energy I feel, I love time on my own. Don't get me wrong. I recharge my batteries but the jolt of energy I get from being in a crowd. The same, like I say, I'm not a big pub goer. I'm not a big like drinking things like that. But just going to a restaurant and being around other people, going to the football, go into the pub, like all of these things that we haven't been able to do, give us energy, give us connection, and give us community. And I can't wait. Like we've got 4.5 weeks till we can.
4.5 weeks.
And I'm like, I can't. I'm already planning like my first sessions, and it's even the day before, not this. So what's the what's the kind of plan with the new one in Glasgow? Then is that just open when you can? Is there much work to do to get it open? Where are you at?
So we've got the kind of first draft of the design and how we're going to revamp it, because it's a total overhaul. When you get the freshened up, walls repaired, painted, the flooring down, the kit installed. We've got 3 signature programs. We're bringing the first one, Hit Hard. It's basically boxing base conditioning. We're bringing that up because we've got our systems in place now by having a business mentor and coach. We're just picking up the program, dropping it into Glasgow, and if it takes off how we believe it will take off, when it takes off, we'll then introduce maximum result. We'll build it up, and hopefully we've got 2 simultaneously. Effective.
There's two barriers that affect how quickly we can open. One, obviously, the original lockdown itself, whether that gets announced quick enough where we can get off quick enough, basically, and get started. But that could potentially be brought forward, and we won't have that gym ready in time because the kit order and everything, the install is going to take a little bit of time. The way it ideally sits at the moment, if the dates that are currently announced of potential gyms opening remain the same, we might be able to open right in time.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be epic. But that's hoping that
we're going to wait until it's ready.
The gods are on our side or something like that. But we're going to make sure it's ready. We're going to make sure that we can get that best service possible and stuff. So But for now, we really need to keep our main focus on the community here in Livingston, just to make sure that they guys get an easy transition back into it, and make sure they're still getting the same vibes they used to get in the same place.
Yeah.
Reassure them that we're not disappearing to Glasgow as well.
We joke to them and say, you know, we're going to Glasgow and there's an uproar, like there'll be riots in the street.
You'll be in trouble. And so, on like a personal level, what's probably super cheesy, asked a million times question, but when life is completely like restrictions are over, not just like gyms can open, etc. So you've probably been back in the gyms for a little while. What's the one thing that you haven't been able to do that you just want to do? You can't wait to do. Once it's all relaxed, you know, we don't have to worry about how close we stand to people. We don't have to worry about face masks or track and trace. What's the?
Take a holiday.
Take a
time off.
Take a team photo again.
Yeah, mate, aye, for sure.
Take a team photo. I'm big on my photos. Big on my photos, because people say, get the camera away. That bastard's never got his phone away. And I'm just like, I just love looking back at the memories. And then I mind there was about 3 or 4 weeks where we had to take pictures like this.
Yeah,
I've got the start of last. I hate it.
Yeah. That's a great one, actually. Team
we have a lot. The other thing that I really miss on that point, and it's something that I don't know how it became a thing at Hit Zone. It just did. And I don't know about other studios. I just know it's our 2 in Shropshire that I personally own. Is a high five at the end of the session. Like everyone at the end of a football game, everyone high five.
We're bringing it in.
And it was probably some people would fist bump, some people would elbow, some people would stab. And now I just want to high five and give someone a hug, sweaty or not. It doesn't bother me.
Absolutely. We've got a member, Billy Drummond. You know, we call him.
Loves a hug, eh?
Billy the Bear.
And
he was just, you know, when since I've been a talkie, forget the high five, man. He just squeezes you. But there's been one or two special sessions where it's been so tough. We brought the fire. People actually cheered when it finished. They were all high fiving each other and stuff. We're going to bring that back. We're bringing that back. That's a thing.
And I think human connection is so. I did a podcast, a global franchise one, and they sent me all these flash marketing bits afterwards, like little quotes that I'd said. I didn't even remember saying it in there, but saying that like online is great, but human connection is at the center of what we do. It's just human interaction and connection, and that more than anything, I can't wait. Like Jodie, who's my partner and business partner, and Jackie, our business partner, are like planning, like, when can we have a summer party? What can we do? What could get together? That's not as much my thing, but everybody, I think there's going to be an explosion over the next 12 to 18 months of people experiences doing things that involve a release and an experience. But anyway, go on. What
just talking about a party there. Listen to this. This is outstanding. In the first lockdown, you know, amazing. 2 people got me through. Doreen, by the way, has got 2 knee replacements and she still smashes it. Well done.
Well,
yeah.
Before it, just as the first lockdown, which we never knew, all the guys, you know, chipped in together, you know, cash, £1,000, put it in an envelope, signed a card, and you know, done a big Zoom, and it's just one of the things that choked you up. And they asked, what are you going to? They said, here's the money for, like, you know, rent or bills or. Yeah, still got it. Still got it, and it's for a party. It's for a fucking party.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's for a party.
Yeah, Jackie's our business. A lovely house with like big garden down by a river, and we wanted to. She wanted to have a summer soiree, as we call it then, like midsummer, June the 21st on the summer solstice, and we couldn't do it last year. So I'm pretty sure that's the day we can all go back to normal. But I think we need to have a big Hit Zone. The furthest north we are is in Cheshire, so we're not even on the doorstep. But I'd love to come up and train. Like, I haven't quite got the courage to have done your Oompah Loompah online. I know Tibbsy did it, didn't he? Some kind of work.
They're coming.
Tibbsy's coming up.
I've got roots up there, but if it gets me a hoodie, I'm in for it. Like, I'll be up there and in the workout. Yeah,
for sure.
I like that merch. And the same goes, like, if you're ever down don't know why you'd need or want to come down to Shropshire, but if you ever are, then
the weather's better.
Well, probably.
We
Yeah,
could
I
make
think,
a plan. We like a day out. We like to travel. Like, see when we do our coaching in Newcastle, that's like our time, and it's fun because it's a day down in the train. So we'll book in, come to Hit Zone, and we'll go hard.
Honestly, I think you'd really enjoy it. I think you'd enjoy it because it's just a big, happy sweat fest. And again, just one of the reasons why I'd love to train in your place is, and I can see it by these comments, and I've watched some of the interviews you've done with your members, the members of your community. I get a real feeling that there's kind of a very similar vibe with our community and your community. People like you say, people with knee replacements smashing stuff out the same as people who maybe are shredded or ripped or whatever. And I'm a real believer that there's a lot. You touched on it actually by saying about elite people, and that's a slightly different. It wasn't, it's not how we mean to say, but fitness is the fitness industry, the traditional fitness industry, is so elitist. It's so like the haves and the have-nots. And I love that you guys, that's ripped up. That doesn't matter. With you guys, it's accessible to all. You make it fun for all, and I think that's probably why you've seen such success and been able to expand during a global pandemic. I think a massive credit to you guys. Jackie says she's sent you an invite to our party. It's in the post.
Yes, come on.
Hey, Jackie, let me know what size of t-shirt you have.
Yeah, says she wants to be part of the session when you guys are down. She's Sandra's age. She's just recorded a little bit for me for my audiobook, a little teaser there.
Guys from Hit Zone, if anybody wants to sample, MTF Zoom classes, we'll send Stuart the link and we'll see what you guys have got. Let's go. We'll have a go. Send me the link, and I know that a few of our guys will be up for that.
Good. Yeah, sweet. That'll be cool.
Anyway, guys, I'm good. I think that was. I love that.
Love it. Yeah, thanks for having us on. Appreciate it.
What'll be great. I'm doing. This is actually the last episode of this. I've been told by our mate Mr. Moore to be a bit more pro with what I'm doing here. So now it's got a name. It's the Stuart Kane Show. I've even got a little front cover for when it goes on Spotify. But what I'd love is season 2. I'm going to start back end of March, and once the gyms are open and things into April, I'd love to get you guys back on to talk about how it's gone and getting reopened. I think it'd be awesome.
Amazing. I appreciate that. I mean, that'd be awesome.
Awesome. Definitely.
Nice one then, guys. Catch you soon. Cheers to everyone. Take it easy, guys. Bye for now.